Hello everyone, in this video let us continue learning Emacs in this video today. So in the previous video we spent some time looking at the fundamentals or basics of Emacs. When you're working with any editor, I think when you know how to do basic things, you are in a good shape to proceed further. And to be honest, if you know how to open a file, how to modify file content, how to save it, how to do cut, copy, paste, I think you can do a lot of things. And of course, it is just a matter of taking that learning further and, of course, adding more features whenever needed. So today I want to show you a few more things that I think will be really useful when you have to use when you are thinking of using Emacs. So let us open a file, or maybe just open Emacs very quickly. And when you open Emacs, you're familiar with this interface, the welcome page. But to open a file, you can do Control X, Control F, and if you press enter, you can take a look at all the files in the current directory. Now, when you're working with Emacs, there is an amazing concept of splitting your screen, so you can create different windows. I personally create different windows because I split my screen when I'm working with Emacs, so that I can, of course, focus on maybe editing a file. Maybe on the left hand side, on the right hand side, I will keep maybe uh, another file open just for my reference, or I can just monitor my or take a look at my file structure. So let us say if you want to do the same thing, what you can do, you can split the screen into two or three. And I'll show you how to do it in this video by using a shortcut called as Control X. So when you press Control X, you have the option to split the screen either horizontally or vertically. So if you have to split the screen, uh, let us say vertically, you can press 2. So this will create two screens for you, two windows for you. And if you open, let us say, one of the file here, you can of course work on it. But what if you want to switch to the second screen? So whenever you have different screens, different windows like this open, you can cycle through them by using Control X, and you can press O. So when you press Control X O, you are now in the second uh, window here. You can now maybe open maybe a different file here. Let us say I want to open my introduction.org. I can just select it and I can open it. Now this may look good, but um, I may want more space because it's a big document. So maybe I'll split my screen um, horizontally. So we'll have like two windows side by side. So to basically do that, you can, I mean, let us say if you're in this situation, and whenever you are working on a window, you can just focus on it, and you can make it as the only window by pressing the escape key on your keyboard. Now we are just focus on just press it a couple of times and you will be just looking at that particular file. Now at this particular stage, let us split it um, I should say vertically, so that you have more vertical space to look at your document. And for doing this, you can press Control X3, and now you have a split which is vertically, and you have a document that you can view, of course, with the ability to scroll uh, up and down. And this looks really good. And right now when I'm doing this, I may want to open a different file. So if I go to my second screen, I can do the same thing. I can press Control X O, and now I'm here, and I can probably open maybe a different file here. I can just open maybe my hello.groovy, and I have a different file. Now, what if you want to split it further? So while you're into this while you're looking at your hello word.groovy file, you can split this horizontally again. So if you press Control X 2, or I should say split it horizontally, but you have, or split it like vertically. I think I'm probably confusing you, but I think you get the point. When you press Control X 2, you have a split in between, so you can see two windows stacked on top of each other. So I believe it is horizontal split. What is? I'm not really. I don't really remember the exact name. We can probably look in the official documentation, but I hope you get the point. And now we have three windows, and if you do Control X O, now you are looking at this particular file here, and you can again press Control X 0, and you're back to the first file. Now, if you keep on doing Control X O, you will be able to cycle through these windows. And if you want to, let us say, close this particular window, maybe you want to close this hello world.groovy, what you can do, you can, let me just open directory, list of files in the current directory. And if I go to my hello world.groovy, if I want to close it, I can press Control X 0. So this will get rid of that particular window for you. And this is actually very useful feature in Emacs, because when you have multiple screens, you can do something on the left hand side and maybe something else on the right hand side. Not at the same time, but sometimes you need to switch between different files. Sometimes you need to maybe look at different files for your reference, and splitting the screen, creating different windows, I think is a really useful feature in Emacs, and I use it a lot for basically making my life much more easier. So what I will do, let me just do something very, very, very quickly. I'll also share the shortcuts that I tried just now. So you have the option to split it horizontally. So when I say horizontal split, it is actually I believe a vertical split. So you have, or basically when you say, so when I write here horizontal split, it is basically creating a split in between. So I should probably change it to vertical. I think vertical makes more sense here. And if I press Control X 2, you are splitting it in between. So you have two windows stacked on top of each other. And for moving between different windows, you can press Control XB. For closing the active window where you have the cursor right now, you can press Control X 0. And for going full screen, you can do simply escape. I believe 3 times, escape, escape, and one more time. So when you press escape 3 times, you have the full screen mode and you're focused on that particular file only. So this is all I wanted to share in this video, because I think when you're working with Emacs, people get confused a lot, because first of all, it is on terminal and they're not really sure how to do things like saving a file, opening a file. But I think if you know the fundamentals, when you can open a file, modify it and close it, and at the same time when you can also divide the screen into different windows, it really makes you productive and efficient. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I'll continue making more videos on Emacs, and and I will definitely share new learnings if I learn anything new on Emacs. Uh, so thank you very much for watching this video, and have a nice day. Bye.